Hey guys, and happy new year. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are refreshed. I hope those of you who took time during the holiday season feel better today. We got one more day before we got to go back to work. Hopefully, for those of you who are already back at work, y'all are real ones. But welcome back to my channel and happy new year again. This is our first book chat of 2025 and I'm excited about it. So let's do a little quick recap though of 2024 and let's talk about reading goals. Did I make it? Did I make my reading goal for 2024? I did. I actually read one book more than my goal, so I'm very happy about that. My reading goal was 80 books. I read 81 books, and I'll go ahead and put like screenshots of my Goodreads year wrap up on the screen so you guys can see that. In the last Vlogmas video, I talked about my goal for this year, which is actually just going to be 80. I'm not going to say just, because that's still a lot. It's going to be 85. I was not going to go crazy and like add like 20 extra books. We're going to do 85, because we got to that 80 goal like a week before the end of the year. So we are doing 85 books. I'm super excited about it. Can't wait for all the books that I read. And I hope you guys met your goals. Tell me if you did down below. Tell me what your goals were. What are your goals for 2025? Let's talk about it. And let's get into this first book chat. So for the month of December, I officially, and I'll tell y'all why I'm saying that, read 2, 4, 7 books. One of the books I don't have because I left it at my parents' house, but I'll put that book on the screen when I talk about it. I officially read 7 books. And I say officially because I literally finished a book at 12:11 this morning. And technically, I did not finish it in December, but my daughter was like, I think you can talk about it. I think you can count it. I'm not counting it in my December read for 2024, but I am going to talk about it now because I don't want to forget because it is so fresh in my mind. So I'm just going to go talk about it in this video. I'll talk about it quickly in the next video, but that is actually technically a book that I finished in January. Because, yes, I am being that technical. Anyway, so the first book I read in December was Hampton Heights. It's by Dan Kwa. I was kind of disappointed by this book. When you read the book, it's supposed to be about, it's set in the 80s. It's about this group of, 6 middle school kids in Milwaukee. And they're basically trying to, like, get money by selling. They're all paper boys already. But like the guy who runs or manages them is like, hey, if you go to this neighborhood and try to sign as many people up for this other newspaper, because I think this is like a different newspaper, then you'll get like $20 and Burger King. And back then, $20, of course, was a ton of money to kids, and Burger King was the place to be. So as they're going through, they're paired up, and each of them, including the guy who's like their manager, experiences some type of horror, magical, witch situation. So it's supposed to be Goosebumps, but I don't know. I thought it was going to be more cohesive, and like it's almost like multiple mini tales in one book. But to me, it didn't really come together. So, I mean, it was just okay. It wasn't the greatest. It didn't give me what I wanted, but it wasn't horrible. So the next one I read was The Mistletoe Mystery. It's a Maid novella by Nita Prose. Now, her book, The Maid, is pretty popular because when I picked this one up, my friend in the bookstore was like, oh yeah, the book The Maid, it's really good. Here's the thing. This was not a mystery. There was nothing mysterious about it. Like, you knew what was going to happen. This is like, I feel like a cute Christmas romance, which you could have a Christmas romance and a mystery, but at least give a mystery. And the thing that was like a mystery, you knew was going to happen from the beginning. And this girl was sickening. What is her name? Her name is Molly. Molly is so annoying. I don't know if she's that annoying in like the actual book The Maid. Part of me wants to read it because people say it's really good, but I just think she was just a little too annoying in this book. And it wasn't horrible, but it read more of a Christmas romance. You knew it was going to happen. This is like the most basic like Hallmark, because you know what's going to happen. There wasn't no mystery. Like, you could clock what was going on in the beginning. But it was a fun little Christmas read. The next one is Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret, A Festive Mystery by Benjamin Stevenson. Benjamin Stevenson writes mystery books, of course. The first one is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. That might not be the exact title, but around there. And then Everyone on This Train Has a Secret. Yeah, everyone in my family has killed someone, and everyone on this train is a suspect. I like both of those. You do not need to read them in order because I actually read them out of order. I didn't realize it was like a series until I had read the second one, but you definitely can read them out of order. Basically, originally he was the author of books telling people how to write mysteries. And then everyone in his family was killing people, and then he wrote a mystery about it, and now he's like a mystery author. This one is like Christmas centered. I liked it. I thought it was cute. I do like the other two better, but this is like a short novella, so of course it's not going to develop as much as the other mysteries, but still really, really like it. So Survive the Night by Riley Sager was the next book. This book got on my nerves because this is set in the 90s, so I like those old school books. It's supposed to give horror vibes, but here's the thing: this girl Charlie was just dumb. I will say there was twist, and I eventually kind of was like, "Ooh, I think I know what's gonna happen." If you pay attention, you can kind of figure out what's gonna happen at the end. But the thing is, she was just so dumb. So none of this would have really happened if she wasn't as dumb as she was. And I get when you watch horror movies, like, there's a level of stupidity, but for her to be essentially the final girl in this book, like, she was just too dumb for me. And I'm like, you shouldn't even gotten that far. The ending was cool. Like, it was all right. Like I said, they did drop a couple of twists in there, and I was like, oh, I did not see that coming. But still, I think her level of stupidity just kind of annoyed me so much. I was like, girl, it is not that difficult to not be this dumb. Alright, so now we're going to get into Not What She Seems by Yasmin Angoe. I actually really like this. This author is actually local to, like, South Carolina, little country area. She is she was born in Ghana, though. Let's see. She is a Ghanaian American, so first generation. So she was born here in the States. She currently lives in South Carolina. I actually like this book. Now, there are some things where I feel like there is a storyline that did not need to be in this book at all to make the book great. Like, I do feel they added that in, and at that point I was like, wait, I'm a little confused. Like, why did we need that? However, overall, I think it was a good book. I think that extra plot kind of drew it out. It probably could have been like 50 to 100 pages shorter. But overall, I highly do recommend this. It does give you thrills. You do stay in this girl's head a little bit. And I don't think, like, I was reading, like, because I don't really read a lot of reviews like on Goodreads, but I like to read them after I've read the book just to see if, like, people thought the same thing I thought. And people said, like, the main character, whose name is Jack, was selfish, but I don't really think that's true. I don't really think she was selfish. Like, she was a basic, like, young 20-something-year-old dealing with a bunch of tragedy. It wasn't that she was selfish. Now, do I feel like she was kind of dumb and, like, she didn't pause? Like, sometimes, like, girl, I need you to pause. Basically, something happened. She leaves her hometown, and then her grandfather gets, like, sick. There's an accident, he gets sick, or an incident, and he gets sick, and she comes back home. Because of the past incident where people kind of look at her as the problem child, that is why it was so hard for her to come back. And the other plot that's going on is she gets into a little trouble at school, and she's actually, like, fleeing school. So, like, all of this stuff is happening at school, and at the same time, something happens with her grandfather, so that causes her to come back down, where she's actually running away from what happened, but actually running to, like, her hometown to be back with her grandfather after the incident. And a bunch of shady business is happening. Her grandfather is, like, was a former, like, police chief, and he also, like, was a big detective and everything like that. So they would, like, solve crimes together, and he has these two crimes, like, these two murders that he never solved. And one of those is connected to what's going on right now. So that's basically what the book is about. But it does suck what happened with old dude in the book. Like, this is kind of like, dang, I didn't see that coming. So it was a good book, but like I said, one too many plots going on. The next one that I read was Snowdrown. This is by, I did say her name. It's Yasmin Angoe, if I didn't. The next one is Snowdrown by Jennifer D. Lyle. Now, I like this one. This one gives me Ghoulie vibes. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that movie, but this does give me Ghoulie vibes. It's cultish. There's a cult in here. And it's based off of this small town in a small New England town. I don't know if I feel like it's in Massachusetts. But anyway, this big storm is coming. Most people leave the island. And she ends up having to stay. Gracie has to stay. And like there's another team that stayed on the island as well. And they kind of run into each other. And when they do, the storm starts to come in. But then all this craziness starts to happen with like the town. We'll call her like the town crazy lady that is bad and everybody's supposed to stay away from. But basically storms in this town can be really crazy because people go missing and people die and all kinds of things. But you find out like what's really going on. And it's actually a really good book. It kept me interested. It sucks what happened to old boy. What these boys just, it kind of sucks. Like I didn't want that to be how it went down. And then at the end, I was like, dang, of course that's what's going to happen. So I don't know. It kind of leaves you like in a situation where I don't know if there's going to be like a part 2. But I was just like, this is why you got to be careful. You just got to be careful because now you caught in a loop. Now, the other book that I read, and I read it somewhere in this, is actually called Grave Shift. And I'm going to have to put it on the screen with the author because I cannot remember the author's name. This is a cute novella as well. I actually like this one. It gives me, and the only reason it gives me this because there are animals involved. It reminds me of What Moves the Dead. I think that's the book, but I'll put it here. It's by T. Kingfisher. So basically, this group of people, they know each other because they always go like and smoke in this graveyard because that's like the communal place for smokers. And while they're there, 2 of them discover like something weird, crazy is going on in the graveyard, and it just spirals and you find out about like all of this activity happening at the school that's nearby that's not necessarily on the up and up. And they're working to solve that mystery. So I actually did like it. It is absolutely not what I thought this book was going to be about, but it was cool. It's a quick, short novella, and I did enjoy that one. The last book that I technically did not finish in December, but we're going to talk about it because I don't want to forget the details, is Everytime I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies. It's by Mack. This is actually, based off of how I read this, going to be like, well, it is, because when I looked it up on Goodreads to put it in, it's like a series, and this is book 1 in the series. This is such a cute, fun mystery. This book has a lot of dialogue, and I never really, like, that doesn't bother me if the book doesn't have, like, I don't want it to be just a thick page of words, but I'm not like, I need to see dialogue in every 2 seconds, but this book is literally dialogue all over the place, so if you're that type of person, this is a good book for you. This is a cute and fun mystery. It gives me the level of the books by Richard Osman, the Thursday Murder Club mysteries, and definitely Benjamin Stevenson's books as far as the fun, the laughter that goes in the mysteries. So you do get the thrills, like, oh, what's about to happen, but it's not like heart pumping thrills. It's that fun thrill whodunit kind of thing, and that's definitely these vibes. This is about an author who basically started writing the vacation mysteries 10 years ago, 10th anniversary, and she's kind of caught in a situation where she has to deal with one of the characters that she wrote in the book because of some things that went down. You really figure out the true reason she's connected to this person, and she's basically trying to get out of that situation. And during that time, that person, as well as other people's lives, become in danger. So they're trying to figure out, like, literally who's doing this. Now, I will say, I love the book. I thought the book was really, really funny. I enjoyed reading it. I, at first, did not like who they made the murderers. Because I was like, I don't know. if I agree with that, but I do like the way that it played out. It's just that they're not the people that I thought were the murderers, so I was kind of like, I don't like the fact that I'm wrong. But the book was actually really, really good and really, really cute. So this is like a series that I would continue to read because it's definitely great to have those lighthearted reads in between all the other thrilling stuff that I read. So that was the December wrap up. Have you read any of these books? Like, tell me if you have. Do you have any of them on your list? I will say I don't feel like any of these books were like absolutely don't read. Some of them just, well, maybe this one. I don't really think you have to read this one. I'm not gonna lie. This one you don't have to read. If you love romance, go ahead and read this, but this is not much of a mystery. Or if you just like the Maid series. But other than that, like, I didn't absolutely hate the books. It's just like, they didn't really give me what I thought they were gonna give. But other than that, I really enjoyed all the books. I definitely recommend you all read them. Let me know what you guys read next month. And once again, Happy New Year. I cannot wait to share all the book things and life things. We will be back to our regular schedule once a week. That just works for me. Outside of like Vlogtober and Vlogmas will be once a week, posted every Friday. I definitely try to get it up by noon. And I'm actually going to start doing like a monthly vlog. Like vlogging weekly for me is definitely not going to work because I don't really do that much. But I'm going to have like a monthly vlog. Like that will probably be like the last video or one of the last videos in the month. So we'll see how that goes. So once again, thank you guys for joining me. For those of you who've been riding with me for a while, thank you so much. For those of you who are new, my name is Sho'Shanna, and I'll see you in the next one.